What's up, guys? Mike over here, the owner of Overachieve Fitness, and as promised, I wanted to make sure that I give you guys a good review of how and what I experience when traveling and trying to dine out and eat healthy. And this is a very important topic because, like a lot of you who follow me, you know that when you bust your ass in the gym and you go travel and you're going away on vacations and whatnot, your main idea is to try to keep the ball rolling. You don't want to see those goals lost, or you don't want to see your progress lost, and it becomes a big stress and a big fear, and ultimately it can really start to derail progress in an instant. I mean, I've even watched friends eat 4,000 calories in less than 5 minutes. So you have to be mindful and yet not let this consume you so much. And it can be a big thing that you guys think about. And it's honestly something that I've been more in tune with thinking about since having a lot of these unknown stomach issues that are going on with me. So I thought I'd give you guys some great tips and some just real advice that I've kind of come across when traveling. And the biggest thing that I want to go first and talk about is how to beat the all-inclusives. All right, my wedding was a destination, and I was away for a week entirely, and in honestly another country, so it made it a very difficult. What I did to really succeed, and I actually ended up leaving there probably with lower body fat percentages than I even went there with, quite frankly, because of the humidity down there. But besides the point, I made sure I packed everything. So Southwest was great. You get 2 carry-ons and you get 2 check bags. So what I made sure I did is I labeled and packed all of my different proteins. Okay, so I obviously have a different type of protein for the type of day, the goal, the training, the specific thing that I do. So I have a bunch of different ones. Right now I'm doing entirely vegan-based proteins. So I pack them and I label them. And I pack them in either smaller containers or flattened containers and put them in my check bags and label them. And I even measure out how much I have, so that way I know each day how much I can take. All right, and I even will throw in the scooper sometimes if needed. And the biggest thing that I also will do and highly recommend doing is, a lot of times what you'll notice is that restaurants at all inclusives have no nutritional information about any of their meals. So I would just, quite frankly, ask for everything from the bare essential. Make sure that everything is very minimal, plain, just salt, pepper, steamed, and I would then bring my own homemade dressings and any sort of condiment that I know is healthier, I would pack along with me and bring to restaurants. So yeah, Megan's purse kind of became like a little Mikey's duffel bag of condiments, but at the same time, I could lift up my shirt and say, hey, this is why I eat that way. You know, because a lot of times people, they don't think about small things like, oh, you know, when you think about when you're ordering. So I'll dip into these things, that the things that you need to think about when you are ordering. And they're sort of trigger words. And that's what I'd like to call them. Things like glazed, buttered, fried, smothered. Things like that are just key words that you need to really take into account of on that menu, meaning that it's going to be unhealthy because they're going to be loading it up with oil and sauce that you have no idea what the concoction might be. That, yeah, it's going to taste good, but sure, I'll bring my own healthy condiments that I made, and that's where I would use them on their pieces of meat, veggies, whatever the case may be. And that way I know what's going on the food. And that's the biggest thing that you're going to see in this whole entire world right now, is that you don't know what people are putting in your food. And that can be a big problem area for a lot of you that might even be struggling with digestive issues, because you're eating out all the time and not knowing what they are putting on your meals. And sure, they're going to do everything they can in their power to make sure that that meal tastes good. So a turkey burger from me is just some ground up turkey and maybe some Worcestershire sauce, salt and pepper, and maybe a tablespoon of some ketchup, and I mix that together and throw them on the grill. For a restaurant, they could take a turkey burger and make it 1,200, 1,300 to 1,400 calories in an instant, and you don't realize that. And I'll give you a perfect example. When I was just away for vacation last week, the Hard Rock Cafe, they had a vegan burger on their menu that was actually 1,300 calories. And you might ask, how in the world could a vegan burger be 1,300 calories? And these sort of things are what gets us as Americans into trouble, because restaurants have gone to extreme ends to try to make foods taste healthy, and they'll do whatever it takes. Even if it could be something bland, they'll make it taste healthy because they smother it in butter or they fry it. I mean, let's be real. There's anything that you can get nowadays that's not deep fried. I mean, I went to a sushi place the other day and they would take zucchini and fry it. Now they fry any sort of veggie that you ever can imagine. And that jumps the calorie count from 50 calories per cup to 250 instantly. And so these things are what you really need to think about when traveling is, yeah, is this little bit of a big difference from saying, hey, might not you just ask for something to be put on the side? Or, hey, can I get that dressing actually put on the side? Or maybe can I get this glazed salmon without the glaze? Or can you take that glaze and put it on the side? A lot of these simple things can really go a long way with helping you beat the unhealthy extravaganza of foods that are out there, and that can really put you back as far as where your progress is from your training goals. And what I'm not trying to tell you is that you don't need to live a little bit. Yes, everybody needs to enjoy their vacations, have fun, and when you are traveling, think of, yourself as what I like to call is backloading your calories. So if you know you're going to be eating out later in the day, and you might even be partaking and drinking alcohol, whatever the case may be, try to eat lighter throughout the middle and the beginning of the day. So save your calories for more the later parts of the day, so that way you know that, hey, if you start your meal off with going to, an all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet and you're down in over 3,000 calories in syrup, pancakes, waffles, eggs, bacon, it, that's not setting yourself up very well to be able to then go to dinner and do the same thing. So I try to tell my clients to really pick your poison, backload your calories, get your workout first thing in the day, eat light for breakfast, maybe even skip lunch or have just a snack of some veggies and carrots and hummus, and then have a bigger dinner. All right, and these tips can go a long way. So what I don't want you guys to think is when you're eating out, do not feel like you need to be the one that sits back and is scared to ask. All right, I will tell you right now that I had an experience at a restaurant while I was away last week, and right off the bat, I researched the menu, which is the number one thing that I really recommend that you do, is find the menu for your place before you even go. Know what you're going to order before you get there. All right, and I happened to do that, and on the menu, I was actually really craving a jumbo lump crab cake, and I'm very picky with them as to where I get them from and what is in them. And I even love making them myself, quite honestly, but as a cheat meal, I will order a jumbo lump crab cake out. And I asked the waiter right off the bat, I said, hey, can you please let me know what this crab cake is like? Is it, a lot of filler, or is it more jumbo lump crab? And he's like, oh, they're Maryland style, there's a lot of lump crab. And so I was really thinking that they're going to be something good. And they came out and they were basically like eating a piece of bread. And you don't know this sort of thing until you ask. So do not be afraid to ask for accommodations. So right off the bat, when I saw my appetizer, that crab cake come out, hey, guess what I was telling my waiter? Hey, I want my veggies, make sure that they are plain, just steamed and nothing else. No salt, no pepper. I'll add that myself, thank you. And make sure that, please, that salmon that's going on my salad is also done and just grilled with just basic salt and pepper. Please, no sauces. And they came out and they're just how I asked for them. They will accommodate to you guys if you ask, but if you are not going to reach out and ask, you'll get that meal and you'll be ingesting an extra 300 to 400 calories per little plate you have just from the extra little dicey stuff they add to their meals. So save yourself the hassle, the stress, research your menus, number one, ask to accommodate, number two, and remember, my biggest tip is when you think something's healthy on a menu, don't believe it, all right? Just because you say that you're getting a turkey burger from Red Robin or wherever you might be, doesn't mean it's the best option on that menu. And I can guarantee you, if you look on Red Robin's menu and you find the calorie count for that turkey burger, it's over 1,000 calories. And so be mindful, but yet don't stress yourself out. Just do the simple things, accommodate, research, and then enjoy that meal. Ask for things on the side. All right, so these are my tips and takeaways. Make sure that you guys plan and prepare. All right, when you travel, just prepare your meals. Prepare everything you're taking. All right, don't be the one that sits back and says, oh, I wish I should have done this, but then you leave and you come back and you're 10 pounds heavier a week later. All right, so just do the simple steps you need and you're gonna stay true to your goals. I promise you. All right, I hope these tips help and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend.